Oh, darling. Hello, darling. How are you, darling? Oh, come on in, darling. Don't be shy. I don't bite. Unless, of course, you're into that type of thing. Oh, darling. Be a doll and like the video on the way in. Why don't you, darling? I do want to thank you all for being with me here this evening. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, darling, and I don't take that for granted, darling. Can you all hear me okay? How we looking, darling? Oh, yes. Share the video, like the video. We have a good show coming up today. Now, y'all know we're definitely going to be using code words in today's stream, okay? Because pretty much almost every video I do gets demonetized, okay? But that's okay because we have a message to spread and we're going to get it spread regardless. You know, YouTube be hating on a sister, and I get it. I understand. You know, you got to try to keep us down, all right? But it's okay because the Goddis Gang does such a good job in supporting me that whether they demonetize it, you can keep your little YouTube, you can keep your little 5 cents. Okay, that's what you can do. You can keep your little 5 cents a click and your little 2 cents a like and all that you be doing. That's fine. Because we're going to have the conversations that need to be had and we're going to have them, period. And we don't care what anyone say. Okay. All right. Now, what we do care about is our health. Okay. What we do care about is looking good, being snatched for summer. Now, I know in a perfect world, we want to have a certain exercise or skin cream that we can use and it will make us snatched and beautiful and glowing, but that is not the way it goes. A big part of keeping ourselves looking good, keeping our body right, our skin looking good, keep ourselves glowing, looking healthy is what we put inside of our bodies. There is no cheat code for that, okay? When it comes to what we put in our body, a big requirement is fresh fruits and vegetables. Now, if you're like me, okay, where you do not particularly enjoy, all right, consuming raw fruits and vegetables and eating them, then you can cheat like me and drink them instead, okay? Now, I know that when we talk about juicing, I know it is very expensive and it is very time consuming, mostly time consuming because our time is money. And so when we find ourselves in those predicaments where it's like, I know I need to be doing this, but I don't have the time to do it, here comes Alpha Juice to the rescue, doing the work for us. They deliver the juices organic, fresh, and cold pressed straight to our front door. It comes in a box, nice and cold and everything. It's amazing. I don't know how they do it. They even give you a straw. There are all kind of flavors. They surprised me with this batch, darling. Oh, this is the sunset flavor. Lots of vitamin C and goodness, especially if you are prone to getting sick more. You go ahead, get some good vitamin C in your body, and boom. Okay. Oh, it's so good. You know, it's not about what you put on the inside. It's about what you put on the outside. It's about what you put on the inside. And you can use my code SIXGOD for $5 off. Going to save you a few coins. You're welcome. Okay. And I am going to put the link to the website and my code in order for you guys to go ahead and place your orders and stay healthy and snatch and glowing right along with me, y'all. Summer is coming. All right. Summer's coming, baby. So y'all need to go ahead and get on it. All right. There ain't much time to be playing around. Okay. Summer is on its way, baby. And if you think it's playing with you, it's not. All right. Let me pin this comment and then we're going to get started. So This conversation is going to be about, because I have just seen so much dramatics. I don't know why my thumbnails aren't showing up. When you guys clicked on this, did my thumbnail show up, or is it like my YouTube video background? Like, I don't get why my thumbnails is not coming up. Like, what is the problem? Now, this subject, this subject will be very touchy, okay? Excuse me. I do understand fully that this is a sensitive subject and it will be treated as such, okay? I am a woman myself. I am not here to, come down on us. There was no thumbnail. Yeah, it's weird with the thumbnail. Like, sometimes it's showing up, sometimes it's not. I don't know. So I understand this is a very sensitive subject, but there are a lot of aspects to this that speak to our power and our job as women. Okay, we have a lot of women today who speak on our power, speak on our equality. Yet there is a very major part of womanhood that we are dropping the ball for in its entirety, and it simply needs to be talked about. Okay, there's so many different elements to this. Now, for you all that don't know, there was some decisions going on with the Roe versus Wade and on a federal level. In a nutshell, the Roe versus Wade was a case done, I believe, back in the 60s that determined whether or not women can get a baby, on a federal level, like if it was a federal constitutional right. So it made the right to a federal constitutional right. It was no longer up to each state to make that decision. Okay. Now, this has come back up present day. In my opinion, okay, the reason why this is coming back up and is becoming an issue again is because of the JAB. Okay. Now, I want to talk about a very interesting contrast when we talk about the baby and the VAC, the vacations. All right. And I'm trying not to say certain words because I'm going to try my best not to get this demonetized. But hey, you never know. We're going to try our best. That's really all we can do. Now, I'm going to tell you my issue with all this going on. All right. My issue is this. I have maybe once or twice spoke about baby because it's something that has never affected me. I take it very seriously on preventing pregnancy because I understand what a being is at the moment it is conceived. Like the moment it is conceived and it's a thing, I understand it has a purpose. That is something I've always taken seriously. So I have personally taken preventing that on an extremely serious level. And that's my personal decision to do so because of my personal beliefs. Okay. So it's not something that I have spoken on multiple times. Like I said, I've maybe had twice that I have spoken on this as a woman, but with all of this coming back up and from what I'm seeing from other women, there's a lot that we have to have a conversation. Okay. We have to have a really serious conversation because seeing some of the things that women are saying is terrifying to me, to say the least. Okay. I'm getting to the point now where I am going to try my best to arrange a wife for my son. Like a young woman from now where, she's being raised right, my baby boy is being raised right, and me and her parents match them up, because I do not want my son having to choose from these. If the women are this bad now and they're raising more women to be like them and think like them, imagine what it's going to be 10 years from now when he's in the market for a wife. I just cannot see myself as a woman, as a mother, throwing my son to these wolves and the sick mindset that is had by majority of women today. I'm calling us clean out on this one, ladies. Y'all about to pick me and mammy me to death in this stream. I guarantee you all now. Y'all are not going to like me afterwards, because I am calling all of you out on your period. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Rome went ahead and dropped the blue boy, and I'm not going to say the first word. Let's try not to say certain words, because again, we are trying not to get the stream demonetized. But I guess Buddy said if it gets demonetized, that's fine, 'cause I'm gonna go ahead and send you a whole hundo. Thank you so much, Rome. He says, baby is murder, and I agree with you completely. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the super chat, Joanna. She says, Roe versus Wade is being overturned because the birth rate has been on decline for the past 20 years, and it's bad for the economy. The population needs to replicate itself for the economy to survive. Yes. But yes, I am seriously, at this point, arranging for my son, because, when I look at how discussions about these discussions really reveal who the women are that are eligible and healthy for relationship and those who are not. All right. It's very telling to me. If I was a guy, I would be sitting back right now paying really close attention. There's a woman that you had your eyes on, and then you see her stance on this current talk going on. Fellas, this is your time to shine. This is your time to really see where a woman's mind is at. Because I'm telling you right now, any woman who is so selfish as to, number one, throw her own sisters under the bus and sit and act like victims of, taking your fruit, or, women who are victims of someone within your family taking your fruit. Number one, you're going to see how many women are using women that has happened to as a dramatic excuse and a shield as to why these are necessary. So number one, you'll see how she selfishly throws her sisters under the bus. Number two, the woman's job is to sacrifice. Okay. That is the job of the woman. So there has been this modern day narrative that women have sold each other, that it's Black girls in luxury and you should not have to do anything and everyone else should earn everything for you and you are God's gift to earth. This is the narrative that has been sold to a lot of women today. This narrative is a big reason why a lot of women don't like my message, because that is not my message. Are we wonderful beings? Absolutely. Is our purpose on the earth to just sit here and be fanned with banana leaves and have everyone, quote unquote, have to earn for us and we don't have to do anything? Absolutely not. Okay. So that mindset right there, fellas, if you see a woman that has any inkling whatsoever, okay, because when you ask a lot of women, when they say, I know my worth, what's your worth? You're just like every other chick out here. I've seen 1,000 of yous. Okay. You're not really contributing anything with your woman-like abilities to anyone. You're selfish. You're entitled. Okay. You're sneaky. You're manipulative. What is your value? A lot of these women be like, I know my value. Value is what? Value means rare. Value means that something about you would be significantly better or different than your peers. You got on the same wig, the same lashes. Okay, you got on the same Fashion Nova dress. I don't get this. Women who are truly valuable do not have to go around talking about, I know my value. You don't have to do that. Okay, your value and to be seen how different you are from others will speak on its own. The fellas will see that on its own. I've never seen a generation of women beating their chest so badly talking about their value. I'd be like, girl, I've seen 1,000 versions of you. I mean, what's different, you know? So, fellas, this is a time where you need to really be paying attention to the narrative that different women are spewing right now. And this is going to tell you the women who are built to be a wife and a mother and the ones who are not. Okay. So y'all can start to take note, and men who are serious about finding a wife right now, this is your time to really see where her head is at. When she hits you with that my body, my choice BS, that's a well, that'll do it. Gotta worry about me. That should be your first and last date. Matter of fact, y'all fellas will be well off before you even go out on a first date with a woman. A lot of you fellas will be better off having a phone conversation first and bringing up this recent Roe versus Wade and asking her thoughts on it before you even spend $1 taking her to dinner. Because when she hits you with that, men should not be telling us what to do. If she hits you with that, that is red flag number 1 that you need to get up out of there. Okay. Now, we as women, and I've spoken about this before, but just from a different angle. We as women, oh, thank you for the super chat, Joanna. She says, I've been in a serious relationship for 5 years and never had a pregnancy scare. It's not hard to be responsible. I got to get back to work, but love you, Six. You're my big sis in my head. Thank you so much, my sister. Make that money. Don't let it make you. And you are very correct. And at the end of this stream, ladies, I'm going to tell you how you cannot get pregnant. Okay, I'm going to tell you how. Since I see a lot of women seem to not be able to figure this out, we are going to go ahead and have a conversation at the end of this on how you avoid it. All right. And this advice will be coming from me, a woman where I've given birth before and have never been pregnant or given birth since. So I know how to go about doing it. All right. This is something that I lived, and I guess we need to take it back to middle school. And we need to talk about safe ways to avoid unwanted, pregnancy. Thank you so much for the super chat, DZ. DZ says, I'm not particularly vocal on this subject, but man on man, using this as a form of BC is kind of sick. I love your stances. I don't always agree, but you bring the most balance. Thanks, Queen. Thank you so much, my brother. And nobody has to agree with me. Okay. I hear a lot of people say that they're like, well, I don't always agree with you. Like, you guys don't have to give that disclaimer. You don't have to always agree with me. The beauty of Black media and us being able to have our own independent, channels and accounts is for just that reason, for everyone to give their opinion. You guys don't have to agree with everything I say in order to enjoy my content or be subscribed to the channel. And I only say this because I see a few people saying this, and I want to make that clear. You don't have to come here because you agree with everything I say. Okay. Everyone is allowed to have their own opinion. Just come in here to hear mine. That's okay. I don't take that as an issue or take that personally. All right. Now, let's talk about this. Okay. When we speak on our duty as a woman, all right, there are a few things that we as women are in charge of. Now, by now, it is very easy for women to get on the same page when it talks about what a man's job is. Women, if you ask women, what is the job of the man? Women do not have any problem letting you know, okay, his job, pay these bills. Okay, he need to protect. All right, he need to provide. All right. Women can easily, they will quickly be able to let you know, he need to take out this trash, get my car clean, he need to pay this, he need to go to work. Women can give you a mile long list on their expectations on the duties and the role of men. But a very strange thing happens when you start speaking on what is the job of women. Okay. When we talk about, okay, well, ladies, what's your job? What is it that you are in control of? Where does your power lie? Okay. What are your responsibilities? This is when women suddenly turn to Stevie Wonder. This is when women suddenly, it starts looking really Ray Charles. When you ask women, okay, so what's your job? What's your purpose? This is when suddenly it's like, they be like, I can't see. Okay. They turn real Helen Keller. They be like, huh? Huh? You said what? You know, it starts to get real dark. So I'm going to start out with this. Okay. I personally, I would rather pass away. Okay. I'd rather pass away than to have my fruit stolen. Now, y'all know I'm using code words. Okay. I'm not saying the actual words. Y'all need to put together what I'm saying. I'd rather pass away than have my fruit stolen. In my opinion, a woman having her fruit stolen is the worst thing that can happen to a woman. It gets no worse than that. And the reason why that is the worst thing that can happen to a woman is because your entire existence and power and worth and identity is in your womb. As a woman, as a womb holder, your womb is the beginning and the end. Period. Okay. It is the beginning and the end. Your first job as a woman is to exercise discipline, boundaries, and purpose for your womb. This is the stuff our mothers never taught us. So that's why your big sister, we're going to have this conversation today. Can y'all please, mods, anybody who make comments like ADS just made, just block them. We do not want this getting, we don't want people, we don't want this getting strike. If y'all put wild stuff in the comments, come on. So can you know, if y'all gotta say something, please use a code word or an abbreviation. Do not get in here saying wild stuff. Come on now. Mods, please block them if people come in here saying wild things. Everybody is allowed to express himself in the chat, but they cannot come in here saying baby, and man, just please block them. Come on now, let's show some respect here. So, your number one job as a woman is to be the protector and guardian of your womb. All right? When you now this is where things went left for me when we are talking about the Roe versus Wade and talking about everything going on. This is what I've commonly heard women say. And this is when I got confused. Okay? And these are the dramatic manipulative tactics that women use to avoid accountability, because women do this same thing when we talk about weight. When we go to talking about weight, all of a sudden, every woman hits you with the dramatics of, oh my God, how could you say that? How could you do that? We have health issues. We have PCOS and thyroid problems and this, that, and the third. This is how women guilt and shame people into not being able to say a word or hold them accountable at all when it comes to our humongous weight problem, no pun intended. When we talk about the weight crisis for us as Black women, we have to hear a bunch of women with their manipulative tactics where they immediately throw health issues as a shield in front of everything to avoid having people being able to speak up about their laziness and lack of discipline. It is so easy for women to tell men what they need to do. But then when you have any single moment where you tell a woman to exercise any kind of discipline, there's all of a sudden a health or dramatic crisis as of why they cannot do that. And I've been telling you fellas to stop letting women trick you with that. I've been telling you fellas, you need to start demanding that these women show some kind of discipline when it comes to their weight and being in shape. That it is ridiculous. Y'all sit there and keep feeding them and letting them eat and eat and eat, and they tell you that they have health problems and digestive issues. Like naturally fashionable, eating an entire rack of lamb, then telling her husband that she got digestive issues, and that's why she big. Okay. You got to stop letting women finesse y'all like this. Okay. Now, that same tactic has gone into play when we get to having this discussion about baby. When we start talking about baby. Okay. Now, when we start talking about baby, the first thing we got to hear is, well, what about stolen fruit victims? What about women that have ectopic pregnancies? Well, what about women who get genetic testing done and the baby might have problems? Well, what about women who need to get a baby in order to save her own life? I'm going to tell you all right now. I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. Let me start with this. When we have the discussion about Roe versus Wade, there has never been a time where they have just said, okay, baby is absolutely never happening. It's illegal. You can never get it under any circumstance. That's not the case. Okay. What they state when they're talking about baby is that you would need a prescription or a referral to get one, just as you would to get certain dental work done or another specialist. Okay. It's not saying that no woman can ever get one under any circumstance. That is what the lie the women will sell you in order to be what? Dramatic, in order to do what? Manipulate their way into not having to have any kind of discipline or self-control. When we speak about it, what it's saying is, if you have an ectopic pregnancy, come on now, that would be medically necessary. All right. If we have an investigation going on and it comes to stolen fruit victims or stolen fruit victims with someone who stole your fruit in your same family, start with an I, we know what that's called, that then it would be a referral to get that done. All right. So that was never under attack. It's also saying, as a grown woman, that if you're out here with your feet in the air, that if you know you're have your feet in the air, that you know the risks that come with that, and that you need to be keeping track of your cycle, your ovulation. So if you're in your damn 3rd trimester, then yes, ma'am, you should have been a little bit more in tune with your body to know whether you were expecting or not. And no, we're not ripping this child from you in your 3rd trimester. It's saying if you're going to get it early. Be a grown woman, know your body, take a test, do something. Women cannot go out here and just have their feet in the air all over the place and not think about the work that come with that. That's not how it works as a woman. It's what our moms didn't teach us. This is why we act helpless when it comes to these baby topics. We act like, oh my God, so if you take that away, we're going to pass away. What are we going to do? It has not even occurred to majority of these women. that it is your job as a woman to be proactive, not reactive. Baby is a reactive response to an action that has already occurred. That is madness. It is about preventative measures. It's about being proactive. God designed our brains as women. Ladies, have you ever noticed this? Have you ever noticed that as women, when we're planning something, we plan it 2 months in advance. We have an entire itinerary schedule done. We've already called the place, look at the menu, made sure it meets everyone's dietary expectations, put a reservation. We've already sent an online invite. Women's brains, our brains are created to be this way, where we think ahead, we plan, we organize. This is what we do. Okay. A lot of y'all can sit and plan. Y'all do more planning for the gender reveal than you do for the actual pregnancy. You get knocked up and then you have the dumbass gender reveal planned to a T, but then you act like you can't plan about having a child or not. Women have convinced us that they are unable. I've never seen a group of women brag so much about how educated you are. Then all of a sudden, when it comes to bring new life into this world, you act like pregnancy is something you catch like a disease. These women who claim to be so degreed up, claim to be so educated, all of a sudden looks like you failed sex ed. All of a sudden act like they are so shocked when they out here feet in the air, talk about liberation, and then get knocked up. And then it's like, oh, well, we better make sure we have baby available in case that happens. All right. There is an extremely small percentage of women who need a baby because of stolen fruit or health issues. Okay. Period. You have majority of women, and when I say majority, child, I want to say a good 85%. Okay. Now, as y'all know, I have a mentoring company. And I have different women that I mentor, hundreds of women that I speak to, have spoken to on a one-on-one basis. Okay. And there's a lot that I've noticed in doing this work that I want to share with you all. Now, I'm telling you all right now. Okay. I'm going to tell you all the top 2 reasons that women insist that they need baby. And I'm going to tell you guys this, and this is going to be hard to hear, but you all need to hear it. Okay. The number 1 reason why a woman thinks to get a baby is because she is not 100% sure of paternity. I put this on my dead mother, and I put this on everything I love. Most of the time, when women are going to get their baby, it's because she cannot say without a shadow of a doubt of who's that baby's pappy. Now, they'll sit there and tell you all along that it's because they're not ready. It's because, no. I'm going to tell you all what I've seen. Forget what somebody in a white coat tells you. Forget what's reported. I'm telling y'all real life. The number 1 reason is they're not 100% sure of paternity. They're not 100% sure. It's always where it's like, it could possibly be. And for a lot of women, before they have to come forward and say, hey, I was getting a little, some over here. I am pregnant now. I was with someone else this time, and it might be a slight possibility that you probably are the pappy, but I did do a little and it might so be that it could maybe be this other guy. And most women are not saying that. Okay, they're gonna sit right there and do one of two things: either not say anything and go the baby, because they'd rather the baby than have to put themselves aside and woman up to what they did, or they're gonna sit right there and let you think that it's you. Okay, they gonna sit there and not say nothing and let you think that's yours, and it ain't. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. All right. The second reason is when we talk about why women want their babies is because of economic reasons. I don't have the money right now. Finances are not good right now. Or the dude that knocked me up, he broke. Okay. Because I ain't never seen a woman be impregnated by a man that's millionaire, billionaire status, and then know 100% is his, and then be talking about, oh, I gotta go get her. Okay. She gonna go get that baby because he broke. Okay. He make $12 an hour. I'm not bringing no baby in this world with a man that make $12, $15 an hour. Absolutely not. Okay. He's good enough to come into your fruit, but not good enough for you to bear it. Okay. You see the mental illness, you see the psychosis a lot of these women suffer from. It's a mental illness, fellas. They're mentally ill. I've been said I would not wish a lot of these women on my worst enemy. The way they think, I can't, I don't understand. So the man is good enough for you to have your feet in the air, but not good enough to have the child. Because I ain't seen nan one of y'all cry about economic reasons if the guy's paid. Okay? As a man, you should be so offended when a woman, your baby. Because basically she's saying that you are no good, broke, a good for nothing. Okay? I'm trying not to say broke, a good for nothing, and word. And you so broke, good for nothing, that guess what? I was stepping out on you. And now that I'm over here with child, I'm going to go ahead and your baby, because you make $15 an hour. I'm going to tell you guys something, and this is just what it is. All right. After you have an interaction, y'all know what I mean? After you have an interaction, you know what I mean? After you have an interaction, okay? You and you become with child. This is not something that happens. It's not as though he, shoots the club up and boom, you're with child. It take a few days. All right. His fruit juice, his coconut milk, that's what we gonna call it. His coconut milk can live up there for a few days. Okay? And that coconut milk, you mix the lime with the coconut, and in some time, then conception happens. So even after you take the coconut milk, you still have time to avoid being with child. You do not take the coconut milk up there and then just sit there, and then 2 months later you cry and talk about, I got my baby. Ma'am, you know the coconut milk was there. You had days to do something about preventing, because I'm going to tell y'all right now, once pregnancy happens, that child deserves to be here. They have a purpose by God. They have a reason for being. Okay, I'm letting y'all know this now. Y'all think that just because it doesn't have 2 eyes, 2 arms, and 2 legs, that this being does not have purpose. This being has purpose. As soon as conception happens, there's a purpose, good or bad. And I'm going to keep it real with you. When we talk about economics and children, the average household in this country will make around $40,000 a year. Okay? No, everybody is not going to be a successful business owner. No, everybody is not going to be a millionaire. No, everybody's not going to have all, not everyone is going to make it. It's not happening. So if the average household is going to make about $40,000 a year, then what are we going to do if everyone sits and says that they want to have so much money before they have a child? Y'all have all been sold this dream that everybody gonna be rich. It's not happening. I don't like to sell people false hope like that. That everybody gonna be rich, everybody gonna be a business owner. No, some of you will work a job your whole life, and you'll retire and die there, and that is okay. Because everybody look down on people having jobs till you go somewhere where you need someone to be at that job to get what you need done. You want to have a business, you need a business license. You need to be able to go down to that clerk of the court and go up to that counter to get your business permit and have someone there. We need people with jobs to keep this world running. It is actually honorable to have a job because you are contributing to keeping this earth functioning. There's nothing wrong with that. So if the average household going to work a job, make 40,000, you're going to say that those children don't deserve to be here because they don't make a lot of money? That's not the way it works. O'Shea, stop trolling me. O'Shea is such a troll. Talking about I need a job. I'm tired of living with my mom. Boy, bye. You are such a troll. We having a serious conversation, sir. Okay? I'm going to tell y'all right now. Having a bunch of money does not equate to you creating a good human. Matter of fact, half of the people that grew up with money, with 2 parents, with the perfect American life, grow up to be the worst people most of the time. Do y'all not pay attention in real life? I know a lot of people grew up, both parents, financially stable. They grow up and they're horrible people. They are selfish, self-centered, entitled, bratty, rude, inconsiderate. Some of the best, most successful people I know, they came from nothing. They came from struggle. And you know why that is? Because every baby that is created has a predestined purpose, and their financial status they're born in does not change that. I grew up dirt poor, struggling. And guess what? I did not know that we were poor until I got older and other kids started teasing me about what I didn't have. My mother never had a lot of money, but she was so loving and such a real woman and a real mother to me and my brother. We did not even know we were poor. We had no idea. I didn't know I was poor until I was damn near grown. I had no clue. I was so happy because I had love in my family. I was loved. So this is why I cringe when I see people deleting their children or acting like they can't have children because of an economic status. Money is not required to raise up a happy child. I'm going to keep it real with you. Most of people will not be rich. So you better figure out how to reproduce, keep your family name going, have your family be happy to the best of your abilities. If everybody is waiting to hit 6-7 figures before they reproduce, may God help us all. When I was growing up, it was a roof over our head and we were all together. Was it always a 5-star roof? No. But as long as I had my brother, my mama, we had a little dog, we was happy. Then I know people grew up where I grew up, but across the railroad tracks that had both their parents, plenty of money. They grow up now and they're damn near useless. They so spoiled and clueless and sheltered. Okay. Now, you as a woman, okay, let me go back to a point I wanted to make from the very beginning. This is how I know that women are full of it when they speak on women's empowerment, when they speak on woman power, power to the people. Y'all so full of it. I've been told y'all, this is why I don't go to the women's empowerment brunch. I don't do girls trips. I don't do girl power. I don't do any of that because you're full of it. Because a group of women who do not have enough power and discipline to control and protect their own womb should not be trusted to have any protection, control, or responsibility over anything. When women in majority act as though they have zero power and control over what happens in their womb, then that means they are useless and should not be trusted for anything. Throw them away. That is your first job as a woman. The dramatic things I've been seeing is, if we stop baby, then women will die. If we stop baby, women are going to pass away. You know, it's one thing to have the conversation, and it's another thing when you hoes go to talking about, if we can't our babies, we gonna die. Man, if you don't say that, get the out of here. What? So if we can't our baby, we gonna die. This is how women present day have subconsciously admitted that they're useless. And I hope you fellas are taking note. Okay, I'm gonna pray for you fellas out here, because let me tell you something. I wouldn't wish these hoes on my worst enemy. Okay, God bless you, men out here. Lord bless you. Okay, okay, because baby, we look at men and we don't want to hear no excuses on how they need to have their bread together, how they need to protect us. We don't want to hear nothing about an excuse of why they can't happen. We would never want to hear men sit and tell us about why they can't protect us, why they can't provide. We don't want to hear that. That make us dry. That dry us up like the Sahara. If men were out here like, well, we can't protect because of this, and we can't provide because of that, man. We don't want to hear that. That's such a turn off. Gross. Ill. But you got women over here talk about they rather die than to close it up. They'd rather die than use a latex. They'd rather pass away than track their ovulation and abstain from having their feet in the air when their egg is sitting there waiting. They'd rather die. They'd rather pass away than not get some peen. This is why until women, so this is the way my brain works, okay? When I heard they were saying, listen, we about to change it so that you cannot, these babies after 6 weeks, you cannot, these babies, unless it's through a medical referral prescription through a doctor where it is absolutely necessary to save the mother's life. When I seen them saying, listen, this is getting ridiculous. We as Black women especially are contributing to the deletion of our people at the highest rate out of anybody. A woman of sound mind, if they come forward and they say, listen, these deletions cannot happen under XYZ circumstance. Not that they can never happen, but under these circumstances, they can't happen. When women's mindsets go to, oh my God, well, then we're going to just pass away, as opposed to, okay, this means we need to be more careful, this and the third. Don't let them lie to you. So this is the lie that they'll tell you. They'll lie to you and they'll tell you, well, the problem is if the government can have a say-so over that, then the government can also have a say-so over birth control and other contraception, this and third. And I'm like, oh, whoa. Because y'all know whenever the government needs a pawn to carry out an agenda, y'all know they go to Black women to do it right. Okay, this is why there's not a single Black woman in politics who is pro-Black people for real. There is not a single Black woman in politics that is pro-Black man for real. Because it is the women that a group will use to infiltrate and penetrate a people and make them weak. We as Black women are the main ones used as a pawns to carry out all their agendas. And now, once again, white women have convinced you all to put on your cape and have convinced you that this is our problem. Once again, and let me show y'all this I saw. So now what is so interesting, this is the part that is just confusing me, is the same women who are now saying, oh my God, well, you know, the reason why we need to have these baby deletions is because if they can dictate this, then they can dictate anything. And I said, I know that this is not the same group of women who, when the jab was a thing, was going around calling us all selfish, and that if we did not get the jab, then we didn't care about anyone else, and how we need to think about everyone else. And oh my God, it's not like that anymore. The government is definitely not trying to, the government is definitely not trying to delete us. And when we told you, no, we don't want to get this jab, because if we can start allowing them to dictate a forced jab that has not even been tested long enough, we don't know the side effects, we don't know what it can do. And when we all sat here and told you, we don't feel comfortable with doing that, y'all told us that we were selfish. Now all of a sudden, those same women, like y'all seen Kamala Harris over there. Kamala Harris thought she ate. Sitting there telling, sir, is there any federal laws that tell a man what to do with their body? Girl, shut up, because you was the main one out here telling us that we have to get that jab. Y'all told us that if we don't get the jab, we can't travel, we can't go nowhere to eat, and that we'll lose our jobs. And that was okay. And we're being conspiracy theorists if we think that Big Pharma and the government would have a vendetta to murk us all. You told us that, oh my God, you hoteps and you over here, you are a conspiracy theorist with your tin hat on. And y'all told us we was crazy. When we said, no, we ain't getting that jab. I don't give a damn, baby. I don't care if y'all told me that you cannot breathe the air outside with that jab. I'm not getting that, period. Y'all said we were selfish. We weren't thinking about other people. Now, all of a sudden, when they're saying, hey, we're not telling you that you can knock your baby at all. We're saying not after 6 weeks. We're saying for non-medical emergencies. We're saying, now here y'all go. Oh, this is the same women, mostly Black women, who were enforcing that jab are now the same women saying, oh, this is a slippery slope. Oh, we cannot allow them to tell us that we cannot our babies, because then what else could they tell us that we can't do? Oh, you don't say. Oh, that is very interesting because when we said that about that jab, y'all felt like we were being crazy and we were being dramatic. And oh, they're not going to do that to us. They're not going to do that. It's not like that anymore. Okay. The doctors said it was safe, guys. The doctors said it was safe. You guys are being conspiracy theorists. Okay. Women's manipulation tactics need to be called out. The main thing I want you all to stop doing is okay, let me first of all say this. You never have 100% chance of pregnancy, but you can always have a 99.99% chance of not getting pregnant. Even on your main ovulation day, your chance of pregnancy is at max around 30%, less than half of a chance. When you engage in a session, there is more of a chance that you will not get pregnant than that you will. Do you know the probability of someone stealing your fruit? And think about this when you hear these women talking about we need baby because of stolen fruit victims. If at your most fertile day, you have about a 28 to 30% chance of pregnancy, then think about what this would mean. That would mean that someone would have to steal your fruit on your exact ovulation day or a few days before or after. It can go all the way from 8% up to 28 to 30%. That you're going to sit here and say that you happen to get impregnated when your fruit was stolen. Your fruit happened to be stolen on the exact day that you happen to have ovulation. The chances of becoming pregnant in a stolen fruit incident are very small. You have a higher chance of pregnancy in a stolen fruit incident when there is consistent stolen fruit incidences. Okay? So when you as women sit and take women who have been victims of stolen fruit and wave them like a human shield in front of you on your way to the clinic to your baby, just because the guy that knocked you up is broke, or because you're having hoe regret, or because you're terrified because you sneak dicked and you're not 100% sure if he's the father, that is not okay. I would rather y'all just be honest and say, listen, yes, we have sat here and said, because let y'all tell it. You don't care about what men want. You don't care about what men think. I've seen this viral thing on TikTok where the men are like, you want to know why men today are not wanting to get married? And the women are like, no, but did you hear about this new Fritos flavor? Like, there's this new thing going on where women are stitching together videos of men speaking on what they want, why they're getting married, why they're not getting married. And women will stitch it to another video and carry on about how they don't care. This is why these same women are now afraid to come forward and say, we've sat here and capped and said that we don't care about what you want, we don't care about what you think, but we honestly would rather pass away as opposed to not sleeping with you. Women have put in so much work to convince society that they don't want men, don't care about what men think, that now they have to use stolen fruit victims as a way to justify why they need their baby, when the truth is you were capping the whole time. You absolutely care about what men want. You absolutely care about what men think, and you absolutely cannot, for the life of you, literally, ever stop opening your legs to them. You would rather pass away instead. The option of you not opening your legs to them is not it's not on the table. This is why women are dying on this hill, where before they sit and admit that, they'd rather use their own sisters who have had their fruit stolen as a cop out as to why you need to keep baby on the table. When the real truth is, you love these men, you love having them inside you, you love sucking peen, you love having S, you love it all. And you're never gonna stop. Which is why you know pregnancy ain't never gonna stop, because you ain't never gonna stop. Okay? Now, I speak all the time about how we need to stop pointing fingers at the opposite sex. Like I've been said, Black women, you need to stop having every day you wake up be about Black men and what they need to do, and they're killing each other and they're doing it. This all need to stop. Okay, because we got our own problems that we need to be concerned about instead. Okay, God forbid that women have to step up and have any kind of authority or responsibility over their own womb. God forbid. I am so disgusted that so many women feel as though being expected to have any kind of control over your womb is oppressive in some way. That's your first job as a woman. And this is why when y'all see women talk about, oh my God, we should be leaders, we should have a say so in this. This is why women should absolutely never be the leader. This is why women absolutely should never have a say so in a damn thing. Until you as women can get some type of control over your womb and stop acting as though pregnancy is something you catch like the damn flu, you can't be trusted with nothing else. You dropping the ball on your first job as a woman, which is to be a womb holder and create gestation to bring new life into this world. I spoke about this a little bit on my Patreon. These women do not lose a wink of sleep when they're babies. These women will sit here and say that I have to my baby to save myself. In my opinion, women have morphed into a form where they are missing a chromosome of sort that contains what should be your natural maternal instincts. What is wrong with a lot of you? Now, I have some girls, I have some mentees who have their baby before, and they're actively in therapy. They have nightmares. They are living with guilt for what they did. And they have said, I'll never do it again. You got three kinds of women. The women who are saying, oh, baby, I am never getting knocked up unless I want it. Okay. And have stuck to that. Then you have the women who may have gotten knocked up in a less than favorable circumstance. They did their baby, but they felt terrible about it. It has haunted them. And they have said, never again. Then you have, and I'm trying not to. Then you have the good for nothing, foot dragon, bald head scallywag, bottom of the barrel, cum bucket, scumbag, scum beneath my toes that get multiple and don't give a damn. They make TikToks about it. Okay. They do it on live. Their baby then do a dance afterwards. They don't lose a wink of sleep. Okay. Most of them, if they have one, they'll have 2, 3, 4. I know some women who have had 10, 15. Okay. Those are the three kind of women. Oh, yes. I know women who have had 15. And a part of me just be like, God, just why do you continue to allow her to conceive, God? You know, I know we're not supposed to question God, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll be like, well, God, why? God, why have she deleted them 15 times? God, then why do you keep allowing? You got some women struggling to get with child one time. I want to understand. We don't talk about, you let sociopathic women, mostly white women, Remember, they're natural born sociopaths. You once again let them convince you to pick up their, see, now they're doing this thing with Black women where they're telling you, oh, this is an attack on Black women's health. Here goes Sarah. Here goes Sarah convincing us again that it's our problem and why we need to help. Now Sarah over here telling the women, oh, Black women, they're trying to overturn, talking about a highly confidential document about Roe versus Wade got leaked. No, there was a white feminist somewhere in your files that leaked that for sure. Okay. And leaked it to the world to cause outrage. Like, you won't believe what they're about to do. We're going to have to actually be responsible for pregnancy, which is the actual job of women anyway. Oh my God, we're going to have to actually do what God has gave us as our responsibility. No. And here go Black women falling for it. Oh, this is an attack on us? Oh my God, y'all. Fire up the cape. Fire up the cape. We got to go help everybody. We got to all be superwoman. We got to go help Becky. Becky calling on us again, y'all. Come on. Every time you need a pawn, go to Black women. Because when Black women carry out the agenda of white supremacy and white zaddy, that's a rebellion tactic. That's the way that Black women slap Black men in the face as to say, look at me. Look at me. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to uphold what Zaddy wants me to do. And I'm going to listen like a good little girl. And Black man, I won't do the same for you. Zaddy has called on me to carry out his agenda, and I'm going to work hard to carry it out. And Black man, I'll never do the same for you. To the point where you'll cut off your own nose to spite your face. You're so obsessed with shitting on your own men every chance you have that you will sit there and bow to white zaddy and carry out what he wants, even if it harms you, just to have it be a slap in the face to your own men. Thank you so much for the super chat, Will. He says, I know a woman who K at least 10. She lost count, including twins. Woo! Thank you for the super chat, brother. Man, all that stuff is just sick. It is so sick. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the real deal behind it. Why are we sitting here acting? Why are we sitting here playing like this is not a thing? You know, let's not do this. Okay? Now, ladies, I've been told y'all, put some respect on your P. It ain't nothing. It's not a joke. Some of y'all treat your cooch like it's a joke. It is not a game. There is a lot of responsibility that comes with having a cooch. I want you ladies to also understand something else. The woman bears the consequences of intercourse, not the man. It is you who will have to carry a child for 9 months and get your body all poked, stretched out. It's you where your life will be at risk. It is you that will have 1 foot here and 1 foot here pushing a human out of your body. Okay? Men's bodies are not set up to bear the consequence of intercourse. This is why they don't care. They can wash off their peen in the sink with Irish Spring and go on about their day. And all evidence and remnants of your interaction are gone with a little Irish Spring and warm water. It does not work like that for you ladies. You cannot just wash off your twat in the sink with Dove and all the sins of the interaction and all evidence are gone. It's not work like that. Okay? Every woman, and pay attention to what the men tell us, ladies. What the men tells you speaks a lot to how much power that you have when it comes to intercourse. if the men have let it be known that it is us, where it's our job when it comes to, okay, pregnancy, health, guess what? It is within your right as a woman to set the boundaries and precedents on what will be done during a session to keep you healthy. It's up to you. When we were on our live the other day and we had so many chicks talking about how they had been burned by men so many times, that I said, sis, listen, okay? And when you hear these women that have been burned, they're always like, well, you know, he didn't want to use a rubber. He didn't want to use it, you know, and so I trusted him. Why are y'all giving intercourse at the man's standard? No. No, 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 no. He does not decide whether or not he's going to wear a rubber or not. You decide. If you are, what happens if we so powerful as women? If we so powerful as women, tell him, strap it up, or else it's not happening. Where is all this? We're so powerful as women. Y'all making your own money. Y'all talk about y'all starting the most business. You're the most educated. Okay, so it's not like you're dependent on these men financially. You're making your own money, paying your own bills, so you tell it. But then when it comes to your own sexual health, that's when you suddenly drop the ball. If you working for yourself, paying your own bills, you definitely could tell him, no, baby, strap it up. Well, you know, I told him and he didn't want to. I don't care what he wants. To hell with what he wants. If he does not bear majority of the consequence behind this interaction, then he does not decide the level of hell that you will go into this with. But a lot of y'all think you're so powerful until it comes time to tell a man no. You're so powerful and you're so independent until it comes time to get up and walk away if your standards for health and protection are not met in an interaction. That's when y'all suddenly turn into a victim. You're suddenly helpless Hannah. And you just fell on some peen and just caught pregnancy. If you powerful, then be that. And be it in every aspect of your womanhood, starting with the protection of your womb. Especially if you're not married. But I was with him for 5 years, but I was with him for 10 years. Let me tell you all something right now. See, now this is when we get to talking about the difference between being married and unmarried. I would say this is the number one thing that we have to talk about when we have the discussions when it comes to marriage. Let me say this, and I want, ladies, if you don't listen to nothing else I say, I want you to listen to what I'm saying. I'm about to say right now. If you are not married, then no man, I don't care who he is, I don't care how much you love him, I don't care. No man has a say-so on contraception, abstinence, or birth control when it comes to pregnancy, when it comes to intercourse with you. No man. I don't care if they've been your boyfriend of 10 years. If you feel like you need to be on birth control, if his pull-out game weak and you say, oh no, you ain't about to knock me up. If you want to go get on birth control, you do that. Some women said birth control is bad for you. Birth control bad for you. Your baby is bad for your baby. There's hormonal, there's non-hormonal birth control. I'm not advocating for this. My personal method that I use to prevent pregnancy right now is I track my ovulation. Okay. I know my body. I know, okay, I can feel when I'm fertile. I track it with an app. I like to use Glow. And I know when I'm fertile. And I'll have no problem telling my partner, listen, baby, all right, we in a fertile day, we in a green day. Not today. This ain't the time. Okay. You, as a woman, what you choose to do to prevent pregnancy, you need to do what's best for you. The number one thing, tracking your ovulation. Number two, communication. I seen someone say, oh, well, he stealthed me. Like, he was trying to trap me, trying to knock me up. Well, then don't sleep with him then. If you're with a man and you truly feel as though he's trying to trap you, knock you up, that's it. As a woman, you have to be ready at any moment to say no. You have to be ready as a woman at any moment to walk away. You have to. I'm not saying that you as a woman that you cannot enjoy sessions with your man. Of course, you should enjoy it. But please do not ever get so caught up to where, and like I tell women all the time, it is dangerous as a woman to be a horn dog. It's dangerous. If you as a woman do not have full control over your sexuality, yes, you will end up having your baby. Yes, you will end up getting diseases. You will, because you won't listen to your spirit. I've been told you, ladies, if you have any suspicion of disease present, you are allowed to tell that man, absolutely no. You will strap it up until I see a paperwork. You need to go to the doctor, whatever it is. You're allowed to do that. Y'all have got to stop letting men convince you that they have the power and control in how sessions with you go down. No, it is by your rules. Sir, it will not be you wilding around for 9 months. So frankly, I don't give a damn about what you want. If I say a rubber, you're wearing a rubber. Don't want to wear it? Bye. Go knock up someone else and leave her a single mother. It won't be me. I'm not speaking about this in a form of ignorance. Y'all, I got pregnant when I was 18 years old. I was terrified. I was 18. My mom was dying. I had a younger brother. I was maybe halfway done with high school. I hadn't even graduated high school yet. I had nothing. And I remember at 18 thinking to myself, I know the exact night I made my son. I knew the exact night I got pregnant. I 100% knew that intercourse without protection would lead to that. And the moment we went ahead and took that protection off, I got pregnant. Boom, immediately. Boom. I'm talking about, whoo. I knew exactly what I was doing. 6 weeks later, period, not there. Take a test, pregnant. I took my pregnancy test. I was so poor. And this is why I don't like to hear about that poor stuff. I was so poor when I got pregnant, I couldn't even afford a pregnancy test. This is back when Albertsons was a thing. Do y'all remember Albertsons? I went into Albertsons, grabbed a pregnancy test off. Oh, my battery just died. Let me change my my battery real quick. I went into Albertsons. Okay. I went into Albertsons, got a pregnancy test off the shelf, took the pregnancy test into the bathroom, peed on it. The minute I peed on the stick, it said pregnant. I'm talking about, listen, it did not need time to process. You know how in a normal pregnancy test, it takes a little while? You know, like it take you a minute or two before the result come up? Not me. The minute I peed on that stick, that thing came out, and I swear a little hand came through and slapped me and was like, "B, you pregnant." Okay. I'm talking about, it was not a game. Did I know? I knew I was pregnant already because my period didn't come. I was like, where's my cycle? Okay. Where is it? It's not here. I knew. I said, he got me. I said, oh, he got me. He got me. And I remember I peed on that thing. That thing popped up and said, that thing said, you pregnant than a bee. It's not really funny, but it's kind of funny. And y'all, this is just me being transparent. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all on how this went down. And I'm telling you this as a girl that was 18 years old. I was See, y'all be like 30 making these dumb decisions. Okay, y'all be like, I was young, I didn't know. Y'all be like, I was young, I didn't know, but you're 30. I be so confused. What do you mean you young and didn't know, ma'am? You're 30 years old, ma'am. Okay? I couldn't afford a pregnancy test. So I took that pregnancy test in Albertsons. Okay? That thing came back as pregnant. And I ran out of the grocery store. I don't know why. I had my feet all in the ceiling, hunching, shot the club up. Okay. We know what comes with that. So never once did I think to myself, I need to delete my child. Why? Because I knew exactly what I did. I wasn't going to sit and say, oh, well, what about victims of this? And what about that? No. I knew exactly what I was doing. I know exactly when this child was made. I knew exactly what the consequences was. I knew I am not going to sit here and, not give my seed the chance at life because I could not act like I didn't have foresight into my actions and what it was going to be. Okay? That's not how this was going to go down. I knew, no, I have a level of responsibility here. And I had that common sense at 18 years old. I knew the minute that child was conceived, that my child had a purpose. And look at my gorgeous son now. He is the most amazing human being I've ever seen. Thank God. I look at him like, oh my God, like what if I would have got rid of my baby? I just like, look at him. He's a whole grown, like young man now. And after, when I gave birth to my son, I had a natural motherly instinct. It was naturally, the minute I laid eyes on him, it was like I knew. I said, this is it here. Like, this is my purpose. I knew I'll do anything for this child. And when I felt how serious it was for me, when I brought that life into this world, that's when I knew. I said, I will never do this again unless it is within intention. I knew. I said, at the time, I felt like me and my son's father were going to, be together, but it didn't end out that way. But even when we separated, I knew I will never, ever go through this process to have a baby. It'll be to have a family. Okay. We as women cannot walk around using of our baby as a way to be reactive to actions that we knew we took. Me going through that when I had my son is why I knew, okay, from this point forward, I know that I will never ever do this on no BS. If when I do this again, it will be fully in purpose. And I took that very seriously. Okay. And this is why I made sure I knew, for me, if I'm going to engage in intercourse, I know that there is a certain standard I have to set, certain responsibilities that I have to keep in mind. And I stuck by that. I want more of us as women to understand this is serious. This is not anything to play around with. Okay. It's not something where it's like, oopsie, my bad. There is no oops, my bad. Okay. Y'all cannot be out here on TikTok and Instagram making jokes about this. I've seen women say, oh, ladies, summer is coming. Summer is coming. Go ahead and that baby. Summer's coming. And I'm like, this is a joke to y'all. This is a whole human life. Okay. We got to do better. Fellas, like I said, boy, y'all men out here, I don't know what to tell you. Good luck. All right. The way women feel about these babies will tell you guys a lot. It'll show you if they're manipulative, show you if they're selfish. Okay. I'm going to let y'all know now. Should we absolutely should make sure that we need both parents in the household. We need structure. We need love. We need discipline to bring these children into the world. Some of you will have your children in households where you make $40,000, $50,000 a year, and that's okay. You can still have a happy home. Every child, I don't care if you feel like, oh, I don't want to bring this kid into the world because I'm not a millionaire. Every child has the right to fulfill their own purpose regardless of what dollar amount they come into this world with. If that baby gonna struggle, then guess what? It has the right to struggle. If the baby gonna be given everything, it has the right to be given everything according to the circumstance it was born into. But taking that child's opportunity away to live their life, to fulfill their purpose is never okay because you lacked discipline. Okay. Y'all keep saying men too. Listen, we got times where we speak to the ladies and we got time where we speak to the men. I'm not speaking to the men right now. Because honestly, what they want and think when it comes to the responsibility with intercourse is not on them. So that's why we're not talking to them right now. I don't need y'all talking about what about the man? What about the man? We ain't talking about them right now. That's your problem now. He not going to be the one with a big belly wilding for 9 months. He not going to be the one talking about, oh, you're a single mom. He's not. It's going to be you. So I suggest you mind your business. Don't worry about what he's doing. Because when it comes to intercourse, you've heard them. They told us this all the time. Women control access to intercourse. Y'all act like you don't want to listen to these men. Listen to them. When I heard them saying that, oh, women control. Oh, okay. So that means if I say condom, it's a condom. If I say birth control, it's birth control. They don't get a say so in that. Back to my point I was making before, the only time a man gets a say so when it comes to condom, no condom, birth control is when you're married. Now, if it is your husband and your husband say, I want you to have a baby, I don't want you on birth control, because that's what marriage is for. The man, when he marry you, he's taking your womb for himself and his own legacy. Okay. So now if your husband says, listen, I don't want you on no birth control, I'm trying to have us have a baby, then you don't get your ass on birth control. And I would hope these are discussions you had with him before he married you. But if he marry you under the understanding that you're going to give him some children and your husband say, no birth control, I'm sweeping the club, that's what it is. But every woman that is single, if you do not got a ring on your finger, then that man has zero say so in whatever decisions that you make to prevent pregnancy in that interaction. I don't care how much he pout, get mad if he want to break up with you. I don't care. Me watching a man walk out, if I say put on a condom and he don't want to, me watching you walk out. Unfazed. Bye. See ya. And I think almost every woman has been through that before, where you're telling a man like, hey, strap it up. He, man, come on. I want to, man. I said what I said. No, you don't like it. Scram. Period. Who cares? Bye. 7 billion men in this world. I'll be all right. See you. Don't know what to tell you. Okay. This ain't nothing to play around with. If you are unmarried, who cares what he wants? Now, if you married, whole different story. If that man proclaim in front of God and everyone else that you his wife, then yes, he's saying, okay, I'm taking her womb. That's a whole different ballgame. But women, if you're going to be strong, if you're going to be empowered, you need to start with being strong and empowered in your own womb. A woman who cannot control her own womb cannot control anything. Same with a man. When a man cannot control his own household, men do each other like that. If you are a man and you cannot control your own woman in your own household, you can't be trusted to control shit else, because the man is the leader. So as women, if you cannot be trusted to control and be disciplined in your womb, you can't be controlled to lead and be disciplined in anything else. Okay, we got to stop the lies, stop all the BS, stop the dramatics, and stop the manipulation. Ladies, we got to do better. Fellas, you need to be paying attention to these talking points, because these talking points a lot of these women are giving are going to tell you a lot. I thank you all for all the super chats, all the cash apps. I appreciate you for supporting the channel. Y'all, please like the video, leave your thoughts in the comments, share the video with your friends, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And I will see you all on the next one.